the mistakes, the biggest mistakes that are made in terms of talent development?
I think the leader development mistakes are mostly a product of assumptions or arrogance about what you're trying to do, and we've made a whole series of them. The concepts of leader development, I think, are pretty simple. The execution is very, very difficult because you have to deal with people, and people are inherently complicated beings. So when I look at some of the things we've done that have been less than successful, I would say, and this has to do with the pace of activity. We move very fast. I'm sure in your organizations you do too. The world does not let you move slowly now. You have to move fast. So one of the mistakes we've made is that we've tried a one-size-fits-all approach to development. And unfortunately, what that has done has left some people behind that probably would have succeeded had the approach to them been more tailored. And I think that and one of the great philosophers of all times, Bob Dylan, in his autobiography, his grandmother says to him, Bobby, when you go out there, be kind, because everyone you will ever meet is fighting a hard battle. And so that empathy about understanding people can get lost very, very quickly if you're trying to impose a development program on a range of human beings. And I worry about that in our case, because the pace of activity is so fast and the drive for success is so strong that you may not be able to capture all of the skills that you need from the very disparate amount of people that you have working for you. I worry about that. I worry about that a lot because you look at the human capital that's sitting on the sidelines. In your own organization, how many drivers do you really have? And what are the other people doing? Are they coming to work, or are they coming to work to work? That motivational key is important. So in leader development, I'd say that's a mistake. It's not really a mistake. It's a lost opportunity that I think everybody has to be sensitive to. We certainly have made our own errors in that area.
I think recognition and learning from them. I mean, that's the old, adage, if you keep doing what you did, you'll always get what you got. So if things aren't working, what are you learning from the mistakes that you've made? What are you allowing your team to express to you and learn from them? And I mean, we learn from our mistakes more than we learn from our successes. We all know that. So how do we embrace that and know that when we fail, we've learned something, and again, moving forward in that direction. And that's something you can permeate to your team.
Succession planning is one of those things in life that is important but not urgent. Everybody will bow down that it's a good thing to do, it should be done. But Bill and I know some fabulous organizations, and you probably know some fabulous organizations that should have been successful, but once the CEO died or was incapacitated or was incompetent, there was no bench strength, and everybody knew it. So it's important but not urgent. So getting away from good intentions. In my ideal model, it would be to empower rename the compensation committee of the board of directors, compensation and succession planning, and put the accountability for succession planning where it should be the board of directors and not the CEO. CEO should be implementing the plan, but the final accountability should be the board of directors and the executive committee, because if you leave it to the CEO to implement succession planning, there's all sorts of political and personal reasons to make it important but not urgent and deferred. So that would be one thing. The Roman Catholic Church has a good idea. Whether they're implementing it is a different matter. But that is the idea of the devil's advocate. That if everybody around the table is saying this is a good idea, something's wrong. That we need to institutionalize somebody who will take the opposite point of view and make us see the other side of the point of view. Because I think, again, I get back to we're bred to want to surround ourselves with people who view the world the same way we do, and to acknowledge our view of the world. And when you have a management structure that's built that way, that is fundamentally dangerous.
One of the things people don't think of a lot when managers fail is they lack emotional intelligence. It's getting to know the people, who they are, what they're about. And I think leaders, and especially leaders in the future, this is going to be more important as more people are doing more with less time. And I think that your emotional intelligence has to be high, or you have to figure out ways to improve it.